or crack sas hiss. Welcome to Tales from the Tins, where I sit in this park, drink some cold ones, and share whatever comes to mind. Today's a perfect day for it. Sun's doing that thing where it peeks through the trees just right, making everything look like a fancy Instagram filter. Crack. That's tin number 2. You know what I've been thinking about lately? The fact that squirrels probably have favorite trees, like they must, right? I've been watching this one particular squirrel for the past 20 minutes, and it keeps going back to the same oak tree, even though there's like 15 other perfectly good trees around. Correct? Speaking of which, tin number 3, did you know that trees actually communicate with each other? Through their roots and stuff. It's like they've got their own underground internet, probably sharing gossip about which birds are the most annoying tenants. Crack, 4 deep now, and I just remembered something wild. You ever notice how shopping cart wheels always seem to decide which one's going to be the rebellious one? It's never 2 wheels, never 3. It's always just one that decides, today's the day I choose chaos. Crack number 5, and this is where things get deep. I've been watching these ants carry this piece of chip for like 10 minutes. Makes you wonder about perspective, doesn't it? To them, that chip is like us trying to move a whole house. And here we are, thinking we're the most important things in the universe. Crack 6 tins in, and I've got to share this theory about clouds. Ever notice how they never cast shadows on other clouds? Like, what's that about? Are they all just really polite to each other? You know what? These are the moments that matter. Just sitting here, watching the world do its thing, having a few cold ones, and letting your mind wander. That's what Tales from the Tins is all about. Crack, lucky number 7, and I think that's where we'll leave it for today. The sun's starting to set. The squirrel's probably tucked in for the night, and these ants have finally figured out how to get that chip where it needs to go. Until next time, keep your tins cold and your thoughts wandering. Cheers!
Welcome to Tales from the Tins. I'm sitting here in Henderson Park just cracking open my first cold one of the evening. Crack fizz. Man, there's something poetic about that sound, isn't it? You know what I've been thinking about lately? The absolutely bizarre fact that platypuses can sense electrical signals from their prey through their bills. Heist takes a sip. Like, imagine evolving to basically have a built-in metal detector in your face. Nature's just out there doing whatever it wants. Crack fizz, that's number 2, by the way. Speaking of nature doing whatever it wants, did you know there's this type of fungus that can control ants' minds? Makes them climb up plants and bite down on leaves until they die. Then the fungus bursts out of their head like some horrific sci-fi movie. Thoughtful pause. Sometimes I wonder if we've got our own version of that fungus, like maybe social media is our mind-controlling parasite. Crack, 3rd tin's the charm. You ever notice how shopping carts have those little dimples on the metal? Apparently they're called rigidity rolls, and they use less metal while making the cart stronger. Someone got paid to figure that out. That's their legacy to the world. Slightly better shopping carts. Long sip. The sun's starting to set now, and it got me thinking about how we're all just riding on this giant rock through space. Like right now, we're moving at about 67,000 miles per hour around the sun, but we can't feel it at all. Crack 4th tin. Cheers to that cosmic meaninglessness. You know what's really messing with my head lately? The fact that honey never goes bad, never. They found honey in Egyptian tombs that was still good. Takes another sip. Meanwhile, I've got leftovers in my fridge from last week that look like they're plotting a revolution. Cracking 5th and final tin of the evening. The stars are starting to come out now. Did you know that when you look at the night sky, you're basically looking back in time? The light from some of those stars has been traveling for hundreds, thousands, even millions of years just to reach your eyeballs. Thoughtful pause. Makes my walk home seem pretty manageable in comparison. Well, folks, as this last tin runs dry and the mosquitoes start treating me like an all-you-can-eat buffet, I think it's time to wrap up another episode of Tales from the Tins. Remember, sometimes the most profound thoughts come when you're just sitting in a park, having a few beers and letting your mind wander through the weird and wonderful universe we call home. Until next time, keep your tins cold and your thoughts warm. Cheers. Crack tin number 1. Hey there, fellow wanderers of life. Welcome to episode 3 of Tales from the Tins, where I sit on this wonderfully weathered park bench, crack open a few cold ones, and share some thoughts about, well, everything and nothing at all. You know, sitting here watching these leaves dance in the breeze, it's funny how nature never tries to be anything other than what it is. These trees don't wake up thinking, maybe I should be a mountain today. They just are crack. That's tin number 2, by the way. Speaking of being, isn't it wild how we're all just specks of stardust having a human experience? Here we are, on this tiny blue marble, spinning through space at ridiculous speeds. And yet we're worried about whether our Instagram posts get enough likes. The park's quite peaceful today. There's a dog over there living its best life chasing a butterfly. No existential crisis for that pup. Just pure unbridled joy. Maybe that's what we're missing sometimes. The ability to find happiness in these simple moments. Crack, and there goes tin number 3. You know what I've noticed? The universe has this peculiar way of answering questions you haven't even properly asked yet. Like how you'll be thinking about someone and then boom, they call you. Or how you'll need something and suddenly it appears in the most unexpected way. The sun's starting to dip now, painting the sky in colors that no artist could ever quite capture. It's these moments sitting here with these tins watching the world go by that remind me we're all part of something bigger, something beautiful, and maybe that's all we need to know for now. Until next time, friends, keep wondering, keep wandering, and don't forget to pause sometimes, just like this, to watch the world spin. Crack. Tin number 1, and oh man, does that sound good. You know what's beautiful about sitting in a park? Everything just feels right with the world. The sun's doing its thing, there's this perfect little breeze, and I've got my spot on this wooden bench that's probably seen more stories than I ever will. Crack tin number 2, and I'm starting to really settle into this moment. You got kids playing somewhere in the distance, their laughter carrying over like a soundtrack to the afternoon. There's this old couple walking their dog, taking their time, living life exactly how it should be lived. No rush, just presence. Crack. Tin number 3, and let me tell you something. These are the moments that make life worth living. Not the big flashy stuff, but just this. Watching the clouds drift by, feeling the wood grain of this park bench under my fingers and letting my mind wander wherever it wants to go. You know what's funny? We spend so much time chasing after the next big thing, but sometimes the best things in life are as simple as this. Just sitting here, watching the world go by, cold drink in hand, no agenda, no meetings, no notifications. Just vibing with whatever the universe wants to throw your way. The park's got this way of reminding you that life doesn't need to be complicated. Sometimes it's just about finding your bench, cracking open a cold one and letting the good vibes roll. And right now, my friends, the vibes are absolutely immaculate.
Ambient park sounds. Hey everyone, welcome back to Tales from the Tins, episode 5, coming at you from my favorite park bench. The sun's setting, birds are chirping, and I've got my cooler loaded up for what's looking to be a proper long session today. Crack. Ah, there's tin number 1. Nothing beats that first crack of a cold one while watching the world go by. You know, it's funny how this bench has become like my second living room. I've seen first dates, breakups, kids learning to ride bikes, and even a proposal right here on this path. Crack. Moving on to tin number 2 now. The evening crowd's starting to roll in. Dog walkers, joggers, the usual suspects. There's this one golden retriever that always tries to steal my snacks. Not today, buddy. Chuckles. Crack. Tin number 3, and I'm starting to feel philosophical. You ever notice how parks are like little slices of democracy? Everyone's welcome, everyone's equal on these paths. Rich, poor, young, old. We're all just here enjoying the same trees, same breeze. Track 4th tin down, the streetlights are just starting to flicker on. Got at least 3 or 4 more to go. Settling in for the long haul tonight, folks. Something about the way the sunset's hitting the trees just makes you want to stay a while longer, you know? Crack number 5, and I'm just getting started. Might even break my personal record tonight. The park's quieting down now, but the stories are just getting started. Fade out with ambient park sounds. Hey everyone, welcome back to Tales from the Tins, where I get comfy on my favorite park bench, crack open some refreshing beverages, and just observe life, you know. The birds are chirping today, there's a gentle breeze, and I've got my trusty cooler right beside me. That's tin number 1. Before I dive into today's random thoughts, did any of you catch that little inception moment from last episode? Pretty clever, right? I'll just leave that there for you to ponder. Crack. Tin number 2, and it's got me thinking, isn't it weird how we all agreed that breakfast foods are breakfast foods? Like who decided eggs and bacon couldn't be dinner? Someone just drew this invisible line in the sand and we all just went with it. You know what else is fascinating? The way squirrels, hold on, look at that one right there. The way they always seem to remember where they buried their nuts. Scientists say they forget about 80% of them, which is basically how nature plants new trees. So technically squirrels are accidental gardeners. Crack. And that's tin number 3. Speaking of random thoughts, Have you ever noticed how people walk differently when they're wearing headphones? It's like they're the main character in their own movie. Everyone's got their own little soundtrack playing, their own little world going on. The sun's starting to set now, casting these amazing orange shadows through the trees. It reminds me of how we're all just kind of floating on this rock in space, drinking our beverages, living our lives. And somehow that's both terrifying and completely okay at the same time. You know what's wild? The fact that we can instantly recognize hundreds of logos and brands, but most of us probably couldn't draw a bicycle correctly from memory. Our brains are weird like that. Crack fourth tin, and I'm feeling philosophical now. Maybe that's what these tales from the tins are really about. Just sitting here, letting our minds wander and finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. Sometimes you just need to sit on a park bench, crack open a cold one, and let life happen around you. Until next time, friends, keep your beverages cold and your observations random. Crack first cold one of the day, Hey everyone, welcome back to Tales from the Tins, episode 7. Man, what a beautiful day to be sitting here in the park, cold one in hand, watching the world unfold around me. Before I dive into today's musings, I just want to say something from the heart. The way this little show has grown, it's honestly blown me away. To everyone who's been tuning in, sharing these moments with me, sending messages. You're the reason I keep cracking open these cans and sharing my thoughts. You've turned this simple idea into something special. Crack. And there goes tin number 2. You know what I love about sitting in the park? It's like watching life's theater play out in front of you. There's a guy over there teaching his kid how to ride a bike, wobbling, falling, getting back up. Reminds me of how life works, right? We're all just wobbling through, trying to find our balance. There's something magical about these unscripted moments. Like that elderly couple over there, sharing a sandwich on the bench. Been coming here for weeks now, and they're always here at this time. Makes you wonder about their story, doesn't it? Crack. That's tin number 3, by the way. Speaking of stories, watching these dogs chase each other around. Pure joy, no overthinking, just living in the moment. Sometimes I think we could learn a lot from them. We spend so much time worried about tomorrow that we forget to enjoy today. The sun's starting to set now, casting this golden light across the park. It's funny how a few cans, a park bench, and some quiet observation time can lead to these little moments of clarity. Sometimes the best conversations happen when you're just talking to yourself, right? Crack fourth tin of this wonderful evening. As this day winds down, I'm grateful for these simple pleasures. Cold beer, warm sunshine, and good company, even if that company is just my thoughts and you lot listening in. Until next time, keep your tins cold and your hearts warm. Cheers!
Sound of birds chirping. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Tales from the Tins. Episode 8 coming at you from my favorite park bench on this beautiful afternoon. You know, I've been thinking. We've been through quite a journey together, cracking open tins and sharing stories. But we've never kept count of our liquid companions along the way. There's tin number 1 for today. And speaking of counting, let me let you in on something fun. I went back and tallied up every single tin from our previous episodes. Would you believe we're sitting at 31 tins so far? That's quite a collection of stories and thoughts we've shared. Crack, and there goes tin number 2. You know, there's something so satisfying about that sound. It's like nature's little reminder to slow down and take a moment. Speaking of nature, I was watching these squirrels earlier today, absolute masters of work-life balance. They spend half their time frantically gathering nuts, and the other half just lounging on branches like they don't have a care in the world. Crack. Tin number 3, and that reminds me of something fascinating I learned recently. Did you know that the sound of a can opening actually triggers a psychological response in our brains? It's called anticipatory pleasure, same thing that makes your mouth water when you smell food cooking. So, adding today's contribution to our grand total, we're now at 34 tins across all episodes. Each one a different story, a different moment, a different slice of life shared with you all. Keep joining me here on this bench. There's plenty more tales to come. Until next time, cheers. Sound of birds chirping fades out.
Sound of can opening, crack. Hey everyone, welcome back to Tales from the Tins, episode 9. That's tin number 1 for today, and I'm sitting here on my favorite park bench, watching another beautiful sunset paint the sky. You know, there's something magical about these moments. Crack, and there goes tin number 2. You know what I've been thinking about lately? How we're all so caught up in this digital world. Yet here I am, finding peace in something as simple as watching the sun go down. It's funny how life works, the colors in the sky right now are absolutely incredible. Reminds me of how we sometimes forget to look up from our phones and just exist. Crack. Oh, that's tin number 3, by the way. You know what's wild? Scientists say we make about 35,000 decisions every single day. Yet here I am making probably the easiest decision of all. Sitting here enjoying these cold ones and sharing these thoughts with you all. Crack 4th tin of the evening and the sun's getting lower now. You ever notice how time seems to slow down during moments like these? Speaking of time, did you know that we spend about 6 months of our lives waiting for red lights to turn green? Makes you think about all the little moments we take for granted. The park's starting to quiet down now. Just a few dog walkers left. Crack, and there's tin number 5. You know what's beautiful about this show? It's not about having all the answers. It's about sitting here sharing these moments, these thoughts, these cold ones with all of you. As the last bit of sunlight disappears, I think that's where we'll wrap up today's episode. Sometimes the best insights come from just sitting back, cracking open a cold one and letting your mind wander. Until next time, friends, keep those good vibes flowing. Crack. Welcome back everyone to Tales from the Tins, and would you look at that? Episode 10. That's tin number 1 for today. And there's something special about sitting here on this weathered park bench as the sun starts its slow dance toward the horizon. You know, it's funny how these simple moments become the ones we treasure most. Just me, this cold beer, and the gentle rustle of leaves above. There's a couple over there with their dog, just living their best life, throwing a frisbee around. It's like a living, breathing piece of artwork. That's tin number 2. And it's got me thinking about how parks are like these little pockets of peace in our busy world. Earlier today, I watched a squirrel spend about 15 minutes trying to decide which acorn was worth taking home. Made me realize we sometimes overthink our choices just as much as that little guy. The evening's starting to cool down now, and there's this golden light filtering through the trees. You can see people winding down their day, joggers getting their last lap in, parents pushing strollers, teenagers sprawled out on blankets probably talking about everything and nothing at the same time. Crack, and there's tin number 3. You know what's beautiful about these park bench sessions? Every time I sit here, I see something different. Today, there's an old man teaching his granddaughter how to fly a kite. The look of pure joy on both their faces, that's what life's all about, isn't it? As the day winds down, I'm reminded why I started this show. Sometimes the best stories aren't the big adventures. They're these quiet moments sharing thoughts with friends, even if those friends are listening through their screens somewhere across the world. Here's to 10 episodes of Tales from the Tins, to park benches, to cold beers, and to all of you joining me on this simple but beautiful evening. Until next time, keep it chill, folks. Sound of can opening, the crack. Hey everyone, welcome back to Tales from the Tins. For those just joining us, this is where I sit on this trusty park bench, crack open a few cold ones, and share whatever thoughts float through my mind as the sun paints the sky. And speaking of cracking open cans, this right here is tin number 1 for tonight's session. Oh, and exciting news. We've finally started keeping track of our collective tin count across episodes. You know, for scientific purposes, of course, chuckles. It's like a running tally of our shared sunset experiences. Crack, tin number 2, and wow, we've got ourselves a long session ahead tonight. You know those evenings where your mind just wanders everywhere? That's what we're in for. The sky's doing that thing where it can't decide if it wants to be pink or orange. And it got me thinking about how some of the best moments in life are these in-between times. Crack, and there goes tin number 3. You know what's funny about sitting here? Every session brings something different. Sometimes it's the squirrels doing their acrobatics in the trees. Sometimes it's the way the clouds look like they're having a slow-motion race across the sky. Tonight feels special, though. There's this perfect breeze, the kind that makes you appreciate just being alive. It's amazing how a simple park bench, a few tins, and a sunset can turn into something like this. A moment where we can all just pause, take a breath, and notice the little things that make life interesting. Keep counting those tins with me, friends, until next time. Tin number 1. Welcome back, everyone, to Tales from the Tins, episode 12. You know the drill by now. Just me, this trusty park bench, and a few cold ones to keep me company while I watch the world spin by. It's one of those perfect summer evenings, you know? The kind where the sun's hanging low, painting everything in that warm golden light. Got my favorite spot here, the one with the best view of the sunset. Oh, that's tin number 2, by the way. You can feel the day winding down. Couples walking their dogs, kids squeezing in their last few minutes at the playground before dinner time. There's something magical about this time of day. when everything starts to slow down and the evening breeze kicks in. Crack tin number 3, and I'm feeling philosophical. You ever notice how these moments just sitting here, watching life unfold, can be more meaningful than all those busy hours we spend running around? Sometimes you've got to just stop, take it all in. Crack 4th tin of the evening, and the sky's really putting on a show now. Those clouds are lit up like they're on fire. Nature's light show, absolutely free of charge. Well, except for the price of these beers, but I'd say that's a fair trade. Crack in with tin number 5, I think we'll wrap this one up. The street lights are starting to flicker on and the day's drawing to a close. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Tales from the Tins. Sometimes the best stories are the ones where nothing really happens at all. Let's crack tin number 1, and welcome back to Tales from the Tins, episode lucky number 13, where I'm sitting on my favorite park bench as the sun starts its slow dance toward the horizon. You know, it's funny. I've gotten some feedback lately. Hey, you talk about squirrels too much, they say. Your mind wanders all over the place. And you know what? They're not wrong. But here's the thing, that's exactly what this show is about. Life isn't a straight line, it's more like, well, like that squirrel over there jumping from branch to branch, never quite sure where it's going next. Cracked in number 2, and it makes me think. We're all so caught up in being productive, staying focused, keeping on track. But some of the best moments in life happen when we let our minds wander, when we notice the little things, like how the evening light is hitting those leaves just right, turning them into little golden coins. Crack. And with tin number 3, I'm reminded that sometimes the most profound thoughts come from the simplest observations. Sure, I could script every word, plan every topic, but then we'd lose that raw authenticity, that genuine experience of just being here in this moment, sharing these thoughts with you. The beauty of these evening sessions isn't in their polish or precision. It's in their randomness, their realness. It's about finding wisdom in the wandering, meaning in the meandering. And if that means occasionally getting distracted by a particularly entertaining squirrel, well, isn't that just life in its purest form? Sound of tin being placed down. Sometimes the best philosophy doesn't come from textbooks. It comes from sitting on a park bench, letting your mind roam free, and sharing whatever thoughts bubble up to the surface. That's what Tales from the Tins has always been about, and that's what it'll continue to be. Wonderfully, unapologetically meandering. The sounds of a park atmosphere. Hey everyone, welcome back to Tales from the Tins, episode 14. I'm sitting here in the park as the sun's starting to paint the sky in these gorgeous orange and pink hues. Perfect time for some deep thoughts and cold beers. There's tin number 1. You know, watching the sunset like this really makes you think about how we're all just spinning on this giant rock through space. Pretty wild when you think about it. Speaking of wild, I saw this squirrel earlier today performing what looked like an Olympic-level gymnastics routine between tree branches. Nature's got its own entertainment system, doesn't it? Crack, and there goes tin number 2. You know what's fascinating? How we humans created these artificial time zones, yet nature just flows. The sun doesn't care what time we think it is. It just does its thing. The evening breeze is picking up now, making these tree leaves dance. It reminds me of how sometimes we need to be more like leaves. Just go with the flow. Don't resist the natural movement of life. Crack tin number 3. And here's something I've been pondering. Why do we spend so much time trying to control things? Look at this park. It's beautiful because it's a bit messy, a bit random. Maybe that's the secret to life, embracing the chaos. As the day winds down and the first stars start appearing, it makes me think about how connected everything is. From the beer in this tin to the grass beneath my feet, everything has a story, a journey. Life's a lot like these evening park sessions. Sometimes quiet, sometimes surprising, but always worth taking a moment to appreciate. Until next time, keep wondering, keep wandering, and don't forget to look up at the sky once in a while. Sound of final tin being set down. Ambient park sounds. Hey everyone, welcome back to Tales from the Tins, episode 15. I'm sitting here on my favorite park bench, ready to crack open some cold ones and dive into something pretty wild today. That's tin number 1 for the evening. You know what's absolutely mind-bending? Right now, I'm sitting here making Tales from the Tins while watching AI-generated episodes of Tales from the Tins. It's like looking into an infinite mirror of myself on this park bench. Sean takes a sip. Think about it. Here I am talking about watching squirrels scurry around, which I actually am watching right now, while simultaneously watching a version of myself talking about watching squirrels. Oh look, there goes one now. It's like we're caught in this beautiful loop of reality and digital reflection. And just like every episode, I'm letting my mind wander, talking about letting my mind wander, while watching myself talk about letting my mind wander. Are you still with me? Laughs, queried Crack. That's tin number 2, by the way. You know what's really wild? In every episode, I talk about watching the world spin by from this bench, and right now I'm watching myself watch the world spin by, while actually watching the world spin by. It's like this perfect circle of existence. The sun's starting to set now, painting the sky in these gorgeous orange hues. Makes me think about how we're all just tiny parts of this massive universe, creating these little loops of experience that fold back on themselves. Takes another sip. Sometimes I wonder if the squirrels are watching their own AI-generated versions of themselves too. Laughs, maybe they're having their own meta moments right now. But you know what's beautiful about all this? Even in this super meta moment, life keeps happening around us. The leaves are still rustling in the breeze, birds are still singing their evening songs, and here we are just vibing and contemplating existence. It's like we're all part of this giant cosmic dance, where everything reflects everything else, and somehow, it all makes perfect sense when you're sitting on a park bench with a cold tin in your hand. Crack. Speaking of which, that's number 3, and I think that's where we'll wrap up this incredibly meta journey. Until next time, keep letting your mind wander and don't forget to watch the watchers watching themselves. Peace out, friends. Sound of can opening the crack. Hey everyone, welcome to Tales from the Tins, episode 16, where I'm sitting on my favorite park bench watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and pink. This is tin number 1, and already I'm starting to wonder about something. Crack. Tin number 2, and here's where it gets interesting. You see, I've been thinking, is this actually a show about a guy drinking beers in the park, or is it a show about a guy drinking beers in the park? Stay with me here. You know what's weird? Those squirrels over there. Have you noticed how they always move in the same pattern? Like every day at sunset, they do this little dance around that oak tree. It's almost like they're programmed. Like some kind of park ambient NPCs running on a loop. Crack. Tin number 3, and we're going deeper. What if this is actually a show about a show about a show about a show about? Well, you get where I'm going. Each layer is like these waves of golden light filtering through the trees right now. Beautiful, by the way. Oh, check out that old couple walking their dog. They come here every evening at exactly 6:43. Speaking of which, did you know that park benches in Victorian times were often designed to be uncomfortable on purpose? They didn't want people lounging around too long. Not like this comfy modern one I'm sitting on. Crack. 4th tin. And I swear those squirrels just glitched. They literally froze for a second there. Makes you wonder if we're all just characters in someone else's Tales from the Tins, doesn't it? Maybe somewhere, someone's watching a show about someone watching a show about me watching these possibly robotic squirrels. The sun's almost gone now, casting these long shadows across the grass. You know what's funny? In all these layers of shows within shows, this moment right here, just sitting in a park enjoying a cold one, watching the day wind down. It's real. Or is it? Maybe that's just what they want us to think. Laughs. I think I'll leave that question for episode 17. Until then, keep it real, or whatever version of real you're currently experiencing. Ambient park sounds. Hey there, fellow wanderers. Welcome back to Tales from the Tins, episode 17. I'm here at my usual spot in the park, watching another summer sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and purple. Crack. That's tin number 1 for tonight. You know, something weird has been happening lately, and I can't shake this feeling that we're all part of something bigger. Remember last episode when we talked about this show possibly being a show within a show within a show? Well, it's getting even stranger. Nervous laughed Rack. That's tin number 2, and hold on. Did you see that squirrel just glitch? I swear these park squirrels have been acting less like actual animals and more like NPCs in some elaborate simulation. They keep repeating the same patterns, the same movements. And get this, there's this elderly couple. Sweet-looking folks, but they arrive at exactly 6:43 p.m. every single time I've started timing it. It's almost like they're programmed to appear. Crack tin number 3, and notice how it's getting darker? With each tin I open, it's like the sunset fast-forwards just a little bit. The stars are starting to peek through now, but I swear it was broad daylight just moments ago. You know what's really messing with my head? I've started figuring out how to manipulate things here. Like if I sit on a different bench, the whole park layout seems to shift. If I wave at the elderly couple, they freeze for exactly 2.3 seconds before waving back. Nervous laughter. Don't get me wrong. It's still a beautiful evening and I'm enjoying my beers, but I can't help feeling like I'm getting closer to something. There's a pattern here, a code maybe, and I'm determined to crack it. But hey, maybe that's just the tins talking. Or is it? Until next time, keep your eyes open and your tins cold. Just watch out for those glitching squirrels.
Sound of can opening. Hey there, Sunset Seekers. Welcome back to Tales from the Tins, episode 18. I'm your host, sitting here on my favorite park bench as the sky paints itself in shades of orange and pink. Crack. That's tin number 1, by the way. You know, it's kind of funny how meta this show has become. Like, there's this elderly couple that walks by every evening, and I've discovered something wild. If you time it just right and say crack exactly 2.3 seconds after waving at them, the whole park, well, it kind of glitches, chuckles. The trees shift, the grass pattern changes, and even my beer brand switches from whatever light to something dark. Pretty trippy, right? Crack. Tin number 2, coming in hot. Speaking of weird phenomena, let me tell you about these squirrels. At first, I thought the summer heat was getting to me, but I've actually figured out how to code them. Yeah, you heard that right. A little click, click, and suddenly they're doing aerial acrobatics between the oak trees. It's like having my own furry air force. You know what's beautiful about these summer evenings, though? Beyond all the glitches and reality-bending moments, there's something so peaceful about just sitting here, watching the world go by. Did you know that during sunset, the temperature drops at about 2 to 3 degrees per hour? Nature's own air conditioning system. Crack. And that's tin number 3. The crickets are starting their evening symphony, right on schedule. It's all just lighthearted fun, you know? Some people meditate, some people do yoga, and here I am, discovering the matrix of the park while enjoying a cold one at sunset. Sometimes I wonder if the squirrels know something we don't. Like maybe they've always been able to fly and we're just now catching up to their reality. Laughs. But hey, that's what Tales from the Tins is all about. Finding the extraordinary in the ordinary, one sunset and one beverage at a time. As the day winds down and the stars start peeking through, remember, life is weird, parks are glitchy, and sometimes squirrels can fly. Until next time, keep it cool, keep it strange, and don't forget to wave at those elderly couples. You never know what reality you might unlock.
Crack. Ah, you know what that sound means. Another evening, another Tales from the Tins. Crack, Kieran, crack. You ever notice how the park bench feels like it's simultaneously everywhere and nowhere? I'm sitting here watching the sunset paint the sky in impossible colors when this elderly couple walks by. Or maybe they're walking backwards. Hard to tell when the matrix is glitching like this. Crack. Speaking of glitches, these beer cans are telling me stories about the sacred geometry of park layouts. Did you know that if you connect all the benches in Central Park with straight lines, it forms the exact same pattern as a 1980s computer motherboard? Crack. Bench path. Treat squirrel. Lamppost. Duck. Bench again. Why do they keep repeating? The squirrels. They're running recursive algorithms through the branches, I swear. Crack. You see that sunset? It's buffering at 144p, but somehow in 4K at the same time. The beer's getting warm, but also colder. Time is doing that thing again where it folds in on itself like a Mobius strip made of park regulations and discarded bottle caps. Craig, hold on, is that? Yes, there's definitely a pattern in the way people walk their dogs. It's like watching TCP/IP protocols, but with leashes and tennis balls. The park source code is showing through the grass. Error 404, reality not found. Lists, we need lists. Picnic tables, forgotten frisbees, memorial plaques, quantum entangled pigeons, paradoxical park maps, hexadecimal playground equipment, binary butterfly patterns. Crack. The elderly couple just passed by again, but now they're younger? Or maybe I'm older. The beer cans are multiplying by dividing, creating an infinite loop of aluminum paradoxes. You know what's really messing with my head? Episode number 21474483647. It's the maximum value of a 32-bit signed integer. The park bench knows this, the sunset knows this. Even the squirrels are counting in binary now. Crack. And that's what Tales from the Tins is all about. Or is it? Yes, it definitely is. Maybe, probably. Recursively, inevitably. Crack.